Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to jump right in and break down how the Canadian government actually works. I know it can seem kind of complicated, but stick with me and by the end of this quick guide, you'll totally get it. Okay, let's be real. Does the government ever feel like this big, confusing machine that's completely disconnected from your life? Yeah, I get it. The word itself can sound a bit boring or just way over our heads. But here's the secret. The most important thing to know from the get-go. You're actually at the very center of it all. Seriously, the whole system is built around one single powerful idea, that you get a say. That's it. That's democracy. It's all founded on the principle that your voice, your opinion, is what matters most. Now, democracy isn't some one-size-fits-all deal. There are different ways to run the show, so let's dig into the specific type that Canada chose. So, at its core, democracy is about the people ruling. The basic idea is majority rules. Whatever most people want, that's what happens. But, and this is super important, it's not a free-for-all. A real democracy also has to protect the rights of the minority. It's this constant balancing act, you know? Okay, but let's think about this for a second. There are nearly 40 million people in Canada. How on earth could we all vote on every single law? Can you imagine the chaos? Just trying to get everyone to agree on what to order for pizza is hard enough. Plus, we've all got stuff to do, right? And that's where we see the two main flavors of democracy. On the one side, you've got direct democracy. This is where literally every citizen votes on every single issue. Cool idea, and it kind of worked for smaller groups like in ancient Athens, but for a massive country like Canada, no way. That's why we use representative democracy. We choose people to represent us to make those big decisions for us. It's their job. So we've established we elect people to make decisions. But Canada is a huge, diverse place. To manage a country this big, it just makes sense to share the power. So we've split the government into 3 different levels. This whole setup is what's known as a federal system. Let's break down who's in charge of what. At the very top, you have the federal government. This is led by the Prime Minister, and they handle the big picture, national stuff. Think the military, our money, dealing with other countries. Then you've got the provincial government, led by a premier. They're focused on things like your school and your healthcare. And then closest to home is the municipal government, led by a mayor. They're responsible for the stuff you see every single day, like garbage pickup, local parks, and libraries. So what does this mean for you when it's your turn to vote? Well, you'll actually be voting in 3 totally different elections. You'll vote for a member of parliament, or MP, who goes to Ottawa to represent you at the federal level. You'll also vote for a member of the Legislative Assembly, an MLA, for the provincial level. And finally, you'll vote for a councillor to represent you right here at City Hall. Okay, so we've elected all these people. What do they actually do? Well, one of their biggest and most important jobs is making laws. So let's follow the journey of how a simple idea becomes an official law that affects every single one of us. Every law starts as just an idea. And honestly, that idea can come from anyone. It could come from you, from a local group, or from a political party. As soon as that idea gets written down into a formal proposal for a new law, we call it a bill. All right, so turning a bill into a law is definitely a journey, not a sprint. First up, it goes to the House of Commons. That's where all the MPs you elected debate it, talk about the pros and cons, and then vote. If it passes, it moves to a smaller group, a committee, for a closer look. They really get into the details, listen to experts, and can even suggest changes. We call those amendments. After that, it has to go back for another vote in the House. And it's still not done. It then heads over to the Senate for a very similar process of debate and voting. Only if the exact same version of the bill passes in both places does it move to the final step, royal assent. That's when the Governor General signs it, and poof, it's officially a law. So this whole lawmaking machine depends entirely on one thing: who we pick to run it. And that brings us right back to the most powerful tool you have as a citizen, your vote in an election. So, for a federal election, the country is split up into a bunch of different geographic areas. Each one is called a riding, and if you're a voter living in that area, you're called a constituent. Your job as a constituent is to vote for one person to represent your riding as its member of parliament, or MP. So how does somebody win? In Canada, we use a system called first past the post. And the easiest way to think about it is just like a race. In every riding, you have a bunch of candidates competing. The one who gets to the finish line first, meaning gets more votes than any other single person, wins. That's it. They don't need to get more than half the votes, just the most. And they win the seat. Now, this is a super important point about how our system works. We don't actually vote for the prime minister directly. It's not like a separate election. What happens is, we vote for our local MP. The political party that wins the most seats or ridings across the entire country, that's the party that gets to form the government. And the leader of that party automatically becomes the prime minister. This first-past-the-post system can create a pretty weird situation, sometimes called an artificial majority. Just look at this chart here. A party might only get, say, 39% of all the votes cast across the whole country. That's the popular vote. But because of how they won in specific ridings, they could end up with over half of the seats in parliament. This means a party can get full majority power even when most Canadians actually voted for someone else. And as you can probably guess, this is a really hot topic. It's a big reason why people are always debating whether Canada should change its voting system. Okay, wow, that was a lot, I know, but you hung in there. Let's do a super quick recap of the most important things to remember. All right, here's the highlight reel. Number 1, Canada is a representative democracy with 3 levels of government: federal, provincial, and municipal. Number 2, we elect people to make laws for us. Number 3, laws start out as ideas called bills that have to pass through the House of Commons and the Senate. And finally, number 4, our election system is first past the post, where the person with the most votes in a riding wins the seat. Okay, quick pop quiz to see what's stuck. First question, if you wanted to talk to someone about your local library or the park down the street, which level of government would you go to? Think about it. That's the municipal government. Awesome. Okay, question number 2. What's the name for a proposal for a new law before it actually becomes a law?
Yup, you got it. It's a bill.
So, yeah, it might seem complicated when you first look at it, but the whole point of the system, from start to finish, is you. Understanding how it all fits together is the absolute first step to making your voice heard. And now, you know how it works.